Greetings, I'm Chappers.
And I'm the captain.
Greetings, I'm Chappers.
And I'm the captain.
Greetings, I'm Chappers.
And I'm the captain.
And I'd like to welcome you to the demonstration of the Trio.
Where everything must be done in threes.
Yes.
No, that's not the purpose of this pedal. It is, in fact, the Digitech Trio, the winner, in fact, at the 2015 NAMM show of the best product in show.
It won.
It won the whole show of like most. Now, the quick synopsis of what this is and what this isn't, because I think it will put you in the mood for this demonstration. So the idea of Trio is kind of like looper technology. So if you remember, you've probably all got loopers by now, and you arm the looper and you strum 3 chords, whatever, and then you bang the looper again and it plays those 3 chords round and round and round forever. And they're cool, and we've all got them, and we love them dearly. Trio takes that kind of vibe and just sort of goes off on a slightly different tangent. So the idea is you arm it just like you would a regular looper. You play your chords in kind of like you would with a regular looper, except what you then get back at the end of that, rather than just the chords being repetitively played over and over again, Trio interprets that chord progression into a bass line and a drum line.
It's a bit like the John Mayer Trio, except that rather than...
Pino Palladino sounds a bit better than this.
Yeah.
But so, now, I think the very, very first thing that I must say about the Trio, and that Rob...
Can I say it?
Yes, go on then.
Because we get criticised for not criticising. I said to Lee, the drum sounds are a bit like the Casio keyboards I used to get when I was about 10. They're like...
Yeah. And they are. Well, I think they're not quite as bad as that, but they are. This is not designed to replace, Superior Drummer or your, this is basically...
Or any other kind of drummer.
Yeah, this is really... I think this is the start of a journey for this kind of product. I'm sure in 3 or 4 years' time, the what sort of products like this will be able to do will be immense. But at the moment, this is a relatively old kind of bass and drum sample, so it's not going to sound massively authentic. But I just kind of think it's incredibly sophisticated for where sort of technology is now.
Yeah, let me say where I think this sits.
Yeah.
I don't think personally this is a live tool. I think this is a creation tool. So you would sit down and work on playing lead over different chord progressions, writing riffs over a certain groove, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where Digitech sort of see this sitting. There is interestingly, you can use this with one of the Digitech sort of 3-way foot controllers that gives you sort of more functionality. So I suppose they probably have set the foot switching up to be used live, but I'm inclined to agree with Rob that just from an audio perspective, I don't think the drum and the bass lines are really aimed at a live market. I think this is exactly what Rob just said. It's a new evolution of the looper. So whereas we've all had a lot of fun looping chords around and playing lead guitar over the top, we're now going to have a lot of fun doing exactly the same thing, but playing over the top to a drum and bass line.
Yeah.
So anyway, look, I'm going to go into some of the basic sort of stuff after Rob has put a loop in. So the first thing that we're going to do is put a loop in, and I kind of want Rob to put something reasonably complicated in. And it can be as weird. It could have 50 chords in it.
Can we go really easy and then really complicated?
Yeah, okay.
So, because I would use this for practicing my modes. So, for example, if I'm working on a bit of Lydian in D.
Yeah.
So here's what I would do. I'd take 2 chords and I'd loop those and jam over them.
Okay.
Which is what I was doing in
So
America.
we're in what's called learn mode, and you can see that the red light is flashing slowly. So the first thing I quite like about this is when we go into play mode, and you'll see this red light flash fast.
We get sand and buckets.
Yeah, the actual recording doesn't start until Rob starts playing. So you haven't got to do that kind of loop thing where you've literally got to count yourself in. However, the point at which I want it to start looping, that is time sensitive. So I've got to hit the button the second time.
So I'm going to play 2 chords, 4 beats each chord. So
okay, let me put you into arming mode. So this is ready for you now.
That works.
I think, I think the biggest problem trio is going to have is the instant reaction from guitar players.
It's not a chocolate bar from the 80s.
Is that the bass and the drum lines don't sound too authentic. But I think if you can just get over that, I think that people are going to love this. Just so you know, chappies, you'll be amazed. Anderton, this has been out since probably end of April, maybe. And we've sold well over 200 of these already. So I mean, this is not sort of. So anyway, now other stuff that you can do is you can change the genre. That loop is still playing in the background, by the way. I've just turned the volumes down. So actually, if you just want drums, or you just want bass, so I'll bring those back in. Now you've got 6, 7 different genres. So if we wanted to change that to a blues genre. We've got 12 different styles. Now you'll quite like this. The reason that the styles are lighting up either green or orange, the green ones are the ones where it feels that the style is appropriate for the kind of the vibe that you played in. And the orange ones, based on the sort of the rhythm of what you played in. And the orange ones, it's kind of saying that these are a sort of a slightly weirder kind of time signature.
Well, I didn't give it any rhythm, so it's an interesting guess.
Yeah, so, and we can change we can have alternate times, all that kind of stuff. And of course we can change the tempo. So why don't we'll start with the blues thing, we'll back the tempo.
Shall I re-record something? I'll put something else in.
We might have used... Now, I did think was quite clever about this, and again, we'll re-record something a bit more complicated in a minute. If I turn the tempo up, now whereas, historically you might find an old drum machine would just, if your beat was playing boom, 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 and you turn the tempo up, and it goes boom, 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 and it's like, well, no bass player would ever really play that. So what happens is, as I turn the tempo up, it sort of reinterprets the drum and the bass line to just be a more appropriate. So I don't know, let's see if we... Anyway, so we're going to try and do something a bit more complicated now, just to sort of see if we can freak the trio out. So hopefully if you can do on this...
I'll write something on the spot.
And just literally go into choose minor chords, major chords, try and get several chords into it. But the only thing you've got to do is remember what your chords are in case you want to jump over it at the end.
Ready?
So, yeah.
I hate the rhythm, but it's fun that it's done that.
It's kind of, I don't like the rhythm it's done.
I think. I mean, although it's all right.
I think it's better than all right. I mean, I just think it's. I don't think you're getting past the fact that the drum and bass lines aren't terribly authentic.
No, I'm not getting past the fact that but I write music for kind of half of my living, and when I write something, I hear it in my head the way I want it, and then when it comes out a completely different way, it throws you off. I would use this. I would use it for practicing over a mode.
I think that's all it's ever really.
But then I would argue, if you're going to do that, you just download some backing tracks, wouldn't you?
I suppose, but I mean, how many? You've got what? Any backing track you want here,
that's a very good argument, Lee. Any backing track you want for how much?
130 quid.
Fair play.
You know, so I just kind of think it's clever. I mean, some of the other stuff that we've not really gone into is we've got this running through the effects loop of Rob's amp. So what it means is he can use all of his pedal boards to get sort of distortion sounds without.
And you can have more than one part.
So if we put this into the front of the amplifier, we could use some of the internal built-in guitar effects. They're just like, like a basic driven type of sound. We've got two outputs, one to an amp and one to a mixer. If we go to a mixer, it puts cabinet emulation on the guitar type of sound. If you use the amp and the mixer out simultaneously, it sends the drum and bass parts to the mixer and the guitar part to your
You know what would be a really fun, possibly semi-viral video that we will never shoot but could be really cool?
What's that?
Well, this obviously listens to what I'm doing and interprets it.
Yeah.
It would be fun to have a chain of 8 of these and play into one of them, and then have that one play into the next, and then see what the very last one comes back with and tells you.
I have no idea what that would do.
It would be interesting.
The other stuff that I haven't really talked about yet as well, it's got a USB output which you can use for just downloading firmware upgrades to the Trio. As I said, it's got the option to plug the 3-foot switch control in if you want to do more stuff. The parts, so again, I guess this is aiming more at the live guy, but if you did physically want to record 3 parts in, like a verse, a chorus, and a bridge or something like that, you could essentially try and step through those parts. I imagine that would be fun, trying to get that all nailed on. What else does this do? There's a headphone socket on the back, so if you just want to plug a guitar into this, activate the guitar effects and stuff, then obviously you can just use this as a little practice machine.
Well, it has built-in guitar effects.
Yep. Yeah, we could hear those if we weren't plugged into the effects loop of your amp. You just want to quickly plug into the front of your amp and just see what it sounds like.
Sure. We've got some built-in effects.
So built-in effects, it's ever so simple. It's just, depending on what genre you're plugged into, you've got a green or a red mode. So we're on the rock genre. Green is a bit of distortion and red is a bit more distortion. So
let's do it without, all. So, well, that's red.
So remember again, if you're just plugging headphones into this, you'll get like a cabinet emulated version of that into your headphones. So that should be okay. Now, we were going to just try and do some simple, well no, we've done simple.
Jazz.
So you want us to do jazz?
Bit of jazz, bro.
Okay, well let's, what sort of guitar effects do we have for jazz? Let's have a listen.
Chorus.
A fattening kind of effect, isn't it? It's pretty subtle.
Like a compressor or something.
Anyway,
okay.
So
hit me up, buddy.
We want to be in learn mode, he says, forgetting how to do this. Hang on. How do I go into learn mode? Here we go.
That's
learn mode. And then I hit it again, and you just need to. How are you going to count? Because I've got to hit it at the right point.
I'll count you in.
Okay, cool.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Sorry, I may not have pressed that at the right point.
That's alright. Because actually it's kind of cool.
Bit of swirl on the... Play the actual chords that you just played.
Actually sounded
proper jazz, proper jazz. Cool, man. Well, that's kind of the trio. I mean, I don't know how much you want to sort of noodle around with it or not. Is there, you know, do you want to give it some? I'm kind of feeling like it should be better done with some big dirty rock tune. What's like the most complicated rock tune you know? What's going to freak this out the most?
AC/DC Back in Black. That will freak it out. Let's see if it can handle that.
Okay, well look, I'm just...
Put me in red mode though.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Whenever you want. Oh, it's a bit heavy, isn't it, for AC/DC? Let's try another one. We want to...
If it does AC/DC, it's all right with me.
Now that, to be fair, that was the correct use of the alternative time button, which was because that drum beat is a half-time kind of laid-back thing, and obviously without that, it was.
How does it sound without it then?
It was just, it's Yeah, that's exactly how Angus would have played it.
He's all about the tapping.
So anyway, look, there's the trio. I think, again, please, if you're, you know, think of this as to what it is. This is a practice tool that I honestly do think in 3 or 4 years' time, you wait and see. Mark my words. I bet you within 12 months. Boss will have a version, TC will have a version. Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah, TC will
and they'll all outdo each other.
Yeah.
But I just kind of think this is cracking for what it is. You know, great value for money, and just a great alternative to somebody that might just want to, you know, use a looper.
Maybe there'll be a signature version at some point from some artists that haven't got a band. You know, John Mayer could use one.
He's already got a trio.
He's got a better trio.
Yeah.
Who else could use one of these?
Well, as you say, anybody that didn't have a bass player or a drummer.
Yeah. Well, I've been Rob Chapman.
And I've been the captain.
We bid you farewell.